The good, the bad, and the ugly, that's what we're going to go over today. If you're sensitive and can't handle the truth, you might not want to listen to this. But if you want to hear what's actually going on, where I think the market's going, I would stay tuned. So we have a great show for you today. And before I get into that, every day there's something exciting happening in crypto. So if you're not a subscriber, now's the time to subscribe because we put out an episode every single day for this show. So hit the subscribe button and the like button down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, this is certainly not financial advice, and I am not your financial advisor. So please do your own research. Make sure you understand that this is for entertainment purposes, and I'm just letting you know what's going on in my world. So first, we're going to talk about, this has been a pretty interesting run. And, you can't talk about this run without talking about all of the big institutional things that are going on that's really different from the other ones. But at the end of the day, here's where we are with Bitcoin. The other day I said, listen, this looks like a double top to me. We broke below the neckline and it shot past the first floor of resistance or the first floor of support at around, what is this? At around 86, 87,000. And I said, if we drop through that level, expect to see 70,000 and change Bitcoin. And that's where we're looking like we're headed. Now, we dipped into the 70s, just dipped our toe into the 70s when we were under 80,000. Right now, we're sitting at 80,314. And some very, very pivotal news is going to come in a couple hours, in like an hour, 1 hour from now. We're going to have the personal consumption expenditure or core PCE index, personal spending, all these data come in. And if the data comes in as expected, I don't expect a huge drop in Bitcoin, but it might be the catalyst that people are looking for to drive it lower. And if it comes in hotter than expected, yes, expect Bitcoin to go down further to hit that lower range of that 70s, 74-ish range. If it comes in better than expected, then I believe that we're going to have a little bit of a bounce up. Now, going back here, what does a bounce up mean? Well, that's one piece of news. And really why that news is important is because people like cheap money, free money. They do. Bitcoin loves it because the more M2, the more cash, the more liquid assets out there, the more that people can buy Bitcoin and other investment assets. You look at the S&P is down probably 4.5% from its high, which people are thinking that's crazy. Well, look where Bitcoin is. We are down from a high. We are down, right around 28%, 29%. And people say the bottom's in. I don't think the bottom's in, depending on this news. If this news comes out positive, yeah, the bottom might be in. But I have a feeling PCE might come in a little bit hot because we haven't really done enough things with the cost of energy yet to affect the price of goods and service that people are buying. So I don't know. I think that we're going to get some hot news on the PCE, and I think it might affect the bottom range here. We might go into the bottom range. Now, look, the PCE is one piece of it. Look where this is the month on crypto. That looks terrible. I mean, there's no way to hide it. XRP down 34%, AVAX 37%, Sol 42%. SUI 30%, AVE 38%. I mean, it's been a bloodbath, no doubt, bloodbath. And people think, the altcoins are dead. I've seen that. I've seen major players in this space say altcoins are dead. They're dead right now. You can't deny that. Litecoin up 5.7%. Mantra up 60%. That's been the real winner. But, look, are altcoins dead? Well, right now, the Bitcoin dominance, they are dead compared to Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin dominance is, pushing that 60%. We've gone down just a little bit. But the reality is that there's still a huge spread between Bitcoin and altcoins, and it was widening that spread as altcoins were shooting down. Bitcoin wasn't going down nearly at the same rate, so the dominance just went up. And as you can see, since the beginning of this year, Bitcoin dominance has just increased, not decreased. And until we see the opposite of that, altcoins really can't run again. Fear and greed. We are at extreme fear. I mean, we were higher on the fear and greed meter yesterday, but look, there's still a big spread between the price of Bitcoin and that fear and greed meter. Big spread. Bitcoin, there you go. We were at 16. We were at 10 yesterday. So it looks like people are slightly less fearful of Bitcoin. And I'm just going to go over a few other things. This is where the silver lining comes in. This is where I believe I see some light at the end of the tunnel. And this next piece is very telling. There are some long positions down here, and the 78, 77 range. There's some long positions. So I think we're going to get, this is you're probably going to watch this after the PCE data comes out today. So if you do, check my facts and see what happens. I believe that they're going to use that as an excuse to push down farther, capture the rest of this liquidity, suck everyone dry of their Bitcoin dollar leverage. And then they're going to want to capture all of these short positions. That's a lot of potential liquidations to capture. So just to do up to 88,000, I think we're going to go down, flash down, and then you're going to see a V-shaped recovery. That's a guess, not financial advice. This is speculation based on just the information I'm looking at. I've been wrong before, so don't act on this information. I have to say that because Joe told me to go buy, and it went down further. It's possible. There's nothing to say that it can't continue to go down other than all of the bullish news we've had in Bitcoin yet to be realized. And I think something big is around the corner. That's why this is the last stop manipulation to try to grab your money, your liquidity, your Bitcoin, and your dollars. So looking at this economic calendar, today, very important, PCE Index, 8:30 a.m. Everything pretty much comes in at 8:30 this morning, and we'll see, personal income and PCE. Those are two very big metrics we have to pay close attention to. And you'll know it if you don't watch when they come out with this data, you'll know it because Bitcoin will move abruptly around 8:30, 8:31. This is the last piece we're going to talk about today, and this may be the most important piece because everyone's waiting for Fed money, Fed cheap money. They're waiting for the Fed to bail them out, even though they have a $6 trillion balance sheet. This is what is the next meeting is March 19th this year. So that's in a couple weeks. Pretty much prediction of no rate change. Very, very slim chance of a rate drop. 25 basis points, 5.5% chance. So that might change as the PCE data comes out today, if it comes out way cooler than expected. But more than likely, no rate change in March. Well, check this out. Before, a couple weeks ago, the only rate change was expected towards the end of the year. Now watch this. As we go through the month, or go through the next rate, there's a 69% chance it'll stay the same in May, 30% chance of drop in 25, and 1.5. Now watch this. June. Very strong chance of having at least a 25 basis point cut. Now watch it accelerate. 25, 50, 50, 75. I mean, there is a 30% chance we're going to have almost a 100 basis point drop by the end of the year. Now, that can significantly change with different data, but that's what it's looking like right now. So the chance of free or cheaper money coming in by the end of the year is very, very strong. Things are actually, in my humble opinion, lining up perfectly for a nice rebound. Now, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that are convince you to stay in the market, hodl, and do all those things. You do what you need to do. But, to buy in, to sell, buy back in, to me, that's more problematic. I'm a buy and hold, except on my trades. And my trades are holding in the balance. I'm only down $39 in this one. But look, Bitcoin is grossly oversold. The RSI index, we are way in oversold territory. We're pushing up against that $80,000 mental mark. And if it drops below that, holds a candle, we could see this lower end of this range at 74. I'm a buyer there, just to let you know. I'm going to DCA down at 74-ish if we get down there. If we go below that, I'm as long as nothing's fundamentally changed with Bitcoin, I'm probably going to be a buyer too, because I believe long term nothing's changed. I'm resolved to believe that the Bitcoin future is here, and I believe that Bitcoin will be a strategic reserve asset. I do believe that world economies, countries, companies are going to buy that as a hedge, and a stronger digital gold, so to speak. I'm also a big XRP fan. I hold these two things. I believe XRP is going to be the means in which we transfer money and move money around, provide like they say, their on-demand liquidity system. But that being said, I don't know what that's going to do to price. I've seen 1,000 price indicators of what that's going to do to price, but I don't know what to believe and what's actual. So right now, I'm just watching this and saying, I do believe we had a double top. I believe we went below the neckline. I believe that we went below that, what is it, $87,000 mark, and that we are heading down to 74 unless there's something to stop it. And the only thing that right now, today, that will stop that is really positive PCE data. So if we get it, you might see a bounce in Bitcoin, a very, very quick V-shaped recovery. If we don't expect it to go to the bottom of that range, if it busts through that 74,000, the next place down is, looking at the chart here, the next place down is probably right around 65. Yeah, around 65,000. So plenty of room to run down if we don't get some positive data today. And if we do, look for a nice recovery. That's all I got. I hope you got some value out of this. And please do me a favor, hit the comment button down below. And if you made it this far and you're not a subscriber, do me one single solitary favor and hit the subscribe button, like, share, do all those things. I'll see you next time.